Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about how people try to humble the pretty black girl. I've been noticing a trend on social media of people of all different groups: white women, white men, black men, Hispanic women, Hispanic men, Middle Eastern, all different groups of people have been trying so hard to belittle and humble black girls. And I feel like I haven't been seeing enough people talk about it, so that's exactly what I'm going to be talking about today. It's like people like to just wake up in the morning and think, you know what, let me go on social media and just talk about black girls. Let me degrade them. So they go on TikTok, they make videos comparing black girls to other girls, saying that, oh, you know, which one would you pick? And then people would all run and say, oh, Hispanic or white or Asian, or which one would you not pick? And they would all say black. And this isn't some recent trend that I've been noticing. This has been going on for years, especially since around 2021. And the main groups of people that started it was black men, of course. Black men would come on TikTok, they would make videos comparing black girls to other girls, basically calling black girls ugly, getting a bunch of other people to say the same thing in comments. They would compare them to other girls, or they would make those corny videos of where they would put a black girl on one side and like a Hispanic woman on the other side, and then look up, point, and then all run to the Hispanic side. And one thing that I realized is it's like they find joy in comparing black women to other women, especially Hispanic women. You have black boys on TikTok making comments saying, or making videos saying, oh, a 5 out of 10 white girl looks better than a 10 out of 10 black girl. And I've seen so many videos like that, and it's all a bunch of black boys in the comments joining in saying, oh yeah, white girls look better than them. A 5 out of 10 black girl looks, a 5 out of 10 white girl looks way better than a 10 out of 10 black girl. And I never really understood that logic, but this is what I'm trying to say, is that they try so hard to humble black girls. A 10 out of 10 is better than a 5 out of 10. A 10 out of 10 is a 10 out of 10, full stop. But no, somehow a 5 out of 10 white girl looks better than a 10 out of 10 black girl, simply because of the fact that she is white. And it's the fact that you would expect videos like that to be coming from white men. That's typical coming from them. But it's the fact that these videos are coming from black people, black men at that. Every single time I've seen so many videos like that come up on my For You page. And of course, you have a bunch of people that come from countries where there are no black people, and they also join in and say the same thing. And I always just say to myself, how would you know that black girls are not attractive, or black girls are quote unquote ratchet and ghetto, if you've never even seen one? And it's because they just take what they hear from other people. It's all stereotypes. They will see someone on social media say that black girls are this and black girls are that, and it's always something negative. They take from that and then they join in and say the same thing, even though they've never even seen one. The same way they all say that, oh yeah, Hispanic women, oh I like Latinas, Latinas this, Latinas that. But you've never seen one in real life, but somehow you know that you like them. It's all stereotypes, and it's the fact that people, black men, feed into it and they entertain it. And other people join in, because other people just join in on anything that black people do or say. The same way you had the whole UK beast situation, where black men from the UK were calling dark-skinned women quote-unquote beasts and comparing them to men and calling them unattractive. Other people saw that, it got a bunch of attention on TikTok, and you have a bunch of white boys and South Asian boys joining in and saying the same thing. So anytime they do see a black girl from the UK, a dark-skinned black girl at that, they call her a UK beast, which is very funny coming from a black man from the UK. And the reason why I say it's funny coming from a black man from the UK is because black men in the UK have a whole reputation of creating single mothers, being violent, stealing, and they have a whole reputation of stabbing people in the UK. They go around stabbing people with knives and machetes, but somehow black women from the UK are beasts or masculine or manly. You don't see black girls in the UK going around stabbing people or stealing or beating people up or killing people. It's black men in the UK that do that. But of course, we all get grouped in as one because other people don't see it as a black man or black woman issue. They just see it as you're both black. So we get grouped in with them. But they have some nerve to be going on TikTok and calling black women from the UK beasts, even though that's the type of things that they are known for. And it's very interesting to me how black men are so quick to throw black women under the bus just to get some type of, laughter from other groups of people. They don't mind embarrassing black women and making black women look like a fool, just as long as they can get some laughs from other people. And I've heard so many black women say the same thing. I've heard so many black women that come in the UK that come from predominantly white areas that got bullied by black boys. I've heard some of them say that black boys used to make monkey noises behind black women, calling black women monkeys whenever black boys were with their white friends, and all the white boys would be there laughing. But they would do it just to get like a pat on the back from white people.
No one talks about growing up the ugly friend that was never actually ugly. I was just black. Being a black girl was like an...
Guys, please, that video triggered me so much because it actually reminded me of the suffering that us black Essex girls had at the hand of black Essex men. They hated us so much that they made it a mission to destroy our confidence day in and day out. I'm saying there was times we was coming back from school and they'd see us and they'd be making gorilla sounds, calling us gorillas as well. They'd go on Twitter and talk about how disgusting and ugly black women are and black girls are and all this kind of jazz. It was so bad to the point their white and Asian boys were jumping on and saying these exact same things about us. And of course they felt justified to do it because no black boy was stopping them from doing it. I literally still have some screenshots of some of the things those guys were saying back then. And I'm talking, this was like 2014, 2013, 2015 times. And I'm going to keep that forever and ever. Amen.
So they have no shame in degrading black women, just as long as they can get like a pat on the back from other groups of people. And I've never seen any other group of men do that in my life. If another man says anything about a certain demographic of people's women, they will attack you. They will call you all types of names. I've seen West African men say, fetishize North African women in France, because that's what a lot of West African black men are known for, fetishizing North African women. North African men don't like that. So whenever they hear things like that, they're very quick to call black men slurs and all types of names. When have you ever seen West African men do the same whenever people are quick to degrade black women? You don't. I've heard so many horror stories from black women all around the world, especially black women in Europe. I've heard so many horror stories from them about how black men used to bully them and black men never used to defend them. And France is a very good example. I've saw a TikTok of black girls talking about how North African men would bully them and say that they look like men, or saying that they all wear wigs. Just the typical behavior coming from men when it comes towards black women. Instead of West African men defending West African women, they either join in or they entertain it. They never defend them. And the only reason why they do that is to get closer to North African women, because like I said, West African men fetishize North African women. So they throw their own women under the bus just so that they can get another group of women. And whenever I hear or see things like this, it just reminds me of divestors. Divestors have been saying that black women should stop giving birth to black men. And I'm not a part of the whole divestor movement. I don't agree with it because I think it's very pathetic. But that is one thing that I will agree on, is that black women should stop giving birth to black men. 100%. Many black women feel like they have to be race loyal to black men, as in, if they date out of their race, then they're traitors, or they feel like they'll be betraying black men. And I've seen so many of them say it, that they don't want to date out of their race because they only want to date a black man, they only want to have black kids, black love. Anytime I see black women say things like that, it makes me cringe so hard, because black men are the complete opposite. Your counterparts do not say the same thing. They want any woman that's mixed or light or Spanish or any other race of woman. Yet black women feel like they have to stick beside black men. And it really does irritate me, because I've said this before, but black women, they really do set themselves up when they say things like that, because you could be dating out of your reason, experimenting and seeing if you like different groups of men, but you set yourselves up by sticking with these men that genuinely do not care for you. And I'm not going to say that all black men don't like black women, but a lot of them do. And that's the reason why I think that black women should stop sticking beside black men. Because even on TikTok and even in real life, you've got black men that bully black women. And let other people bully them. And you guys still want to stick beside these men. I remember seeing a TikTok of a black woman saying that a black man bullied her or made some type of offensive comment towards her. And someone commented and said that you should try dating outside your race. And she said no because she wants to have black kids. I mean, it's just very pathetic. I see so many black women on TikTok, especially dark-skinned black women, go around saying that, oh, they love dark-skinned men, they only want to date a dark-skinned man. That you've got dark-skinned men that say that they only like light-skinned women or Latinas or white women. And it's kind of like you just make a fool out of yourselves. And it genuinely does make me feel sorry for them. Or you've got black men that go on podcasts and talk about how, oh, black women are the least desired, no one wants them. Everyone wants a black man. And whenever I see things like that, I do laugh because it's kind of like, where do they get this from? I think it's because they spend too much time on social media. They genuinely think that every single woman wants them, which is crazy to me. You would think that it's a white man that's saying something like that, but no, it's a black man that's saying that. But you see how they're so quick to rub it in black women's faces and say, oh, well, no one wants you, everyone wants us. They only care for themselves. As long as no one says anything degrading about black men do not care about black women. You could say all you want about black women and talk about how black women are this and that. Black men don't care. Just as long as you don't say anything about them, they could care less. I just wanted to add to the whole divestors situation. The reason why I do not agree with divestors is because they worship white men. They put white men on a pedestal. They treat white men like kings and make it seem like white men will always defend black women and white men are so much better than black men, even though white men are just as bad as black men. Yes, black men do degrade black women. White men are even worse. They always have been. White men haven't done anything to help black women or benefit black women for a lot of these divestors to be acting the way they do. And even on social media, you see white men bully and belittle black women even worse than black men do. They call black women all types of derogatory names like she-boons, say that black women have no hair, say that black women are aggressive, and all of these names, all of the things that black men say, all the things that you hear black men say about black women is the exact same thing that white men say. White men are not any better than black men, and they never have been, which is the reason why I don't agree with the whole movement. I'm not saying that, there aren't white men out there that don't like black women. I'm not saying that at all. But there's a difference between liking someone and then worshipping them and putting them on a pedestal. And this whole situation reminds me of the whole pasta and lobster bullshit that a lot of these black girls are doing on TikTok. You've got black girls on TikTok putting white men on a pedestal saying that, oh my God, I want a pasta and a lobster. And it's just so cringy because, like I said, it's like they don't know what a lot of these white guys say about black women on social media. You're worshipping them and you're putting them on a pedestal, even though these same men that you're worshipping have never made the same videos about black women. But with this whole pasta and lobster situation on TikTok, I think it's a way for black women to get back at black men, because I know for a while black men have been going on TikTok and belittling black girls or black women and have been putting white women on a pedestal, saying that white women are snow bunnies and calling them all types of names like that. So black women have found a way to kind of get back at them by calling white men pasta and lobster. But what they don't realize is that they're both making a fool out of themselves by putting white people on a pedestal. These same white people do not care for you. You're just worshipping them and putting them on a pedestal. Imagine waking up every single day and seeing that other groups of people are making videos about you worshipping you. These people, especially these white boys, are probably laughing at you because they have never made the same videos in return, and they barely ever do. It's very embarrassing, and I'm so sick and tired of seeing it come up on my For You page, and I cannot wait for it to die down. But anyway, going back to the TikTok situation, one of the most important things I want to say is to stop giving these people attention, because it's not just black men that make those type of TikToks, it's men of all races. And the reason why they do it is because they know that it creates outrage. And the more outrage you get from a TikTok, the more likes you get, the more comments you get, the more interactions you get, the more views you get. And they all know that, which is the main reason why they're always mentioning black women on TikTok. because they know that anytime they do mention black women, whether it's positive or negative, which most of the time it is negative, they get attention from it. It gives them more views. So one thing I want to say is that black women need to start cutting the supply. Stop giving these men attention, whether it's a man or a woman. Stop giving these people attention and just scroll past. For your own mental health and for your own sake, just scroll past. Don't give these people attention. Don't give them what they want. Don't sit there and embarrass yourself by arguing with these people. Ignore it completely. Another topic that I wanted to talk about is this tweet that I recently came across of a white woman who said, "Show me a black woman that is this attractive," or just something along the lines of that. And then she posted a picture of a white woman underneath, and it got like 3,000 comments. And this is one thing that I've also realized, is that white people also have this obsession with trying to humble black women. Like I said, it's not just black men, it's everyone. But white people, especially on Twitter, ever since Elon Musk took over, there's been like a recent shift of a bunch of racists on the app. And this is one of the tweets that I wanted to talk about. So of course, there were people that were showing her pictures, and then she had her fellow KKK members in the comments underneath trying so hard to not accept the fact that, black women can be attractive. So people were showing her pictures of black women that, of course, were clearly black, and she was making comments like, "Oh, well, she's wearing Chinese hair in her hair," or "They used a bunch of filters in those pictures. They don't actually look like that in real life." And there were a bunch of white men, of course, that were in the comments saying, those women have Eurocentric features. They probably have European admixture. And this is something that I wanted to talk about so bad. White people, especially white men, do not like to admit the fact that black women can be attractive. So they start bringing up a bunch of other races or ethnicities and saying that, "Oh, well, that black woman must be mixed with this or this for her to be attractive." They always do that, and I really don't know what their obsession with it is. Even, I can give an example like Naomi Campbell. Naomi Campbell is a dark-skinned Jamaican woman, and she's beautiful. Everyone knows she's beautiful. But people keep bringing up the fact that she has Chinese heritage as if that stops the fact that, she is clearly a dark-skinned black woman that is attractive. But people will always bring up her Chinese heritage. And mind you, she's only like a quarter Chinese. No one's going to look at someone like Naomi Campbell and say, "Oh, well, she's Blasian or she's mixed with Asian." You wouldn't even think it when you look at her, because she looks like a dark-skinned black woman. But it's a way for them to humble black women and say, "Oh, well, black women can't be attractive. They have to be mixed with something in order for them to look good." They will look at women that are clearly African, dark-skinned African women, and still sit there and tell them that they have European admixture or they have quote-unquote European features. They do this to a lot of South Sudanese models. As dark as South Sudanese people are, they sit there and tell them that they have European admixture. If they did have European admixture, I'm pretty sure that South Sudanese people would be able to go to a country in Europe and they would blend right in along with the white people in Europe. But of course they don't. They would stick out like a sore thumb. Why? Because they're African, dark-skinned African people. They're not European. They don't have European admixture. They have this idea that all black people have wide noses and big lips, the whole stereotypical features, and that all white people have small, dainty noses. When I've been to so many countries in Europe, a lot of them have big noses. Whenever they do see a black person, especially a black woman with a smaller nose, that isn't the stereotypical big nose that they imagine, they tell them that they have European features. And that's when they consider them attractive. A good example of this would be the South Sudanese model Anokia. I think that's how you pronounce her name. Anokia, I'm not sure. But I've seen someone post a picture of her on Twitter, posting about how, she's an attractive black woman. And of course, there were white men in the comments saying, "Oh, well, the only reason why she's attractive is because she has European features." This clearly dark-skinned black woman apparently has European features. If we weren't talking about her being attractive, you know full well that they wouldn't be bringing up the fact that she apparently has European features. They would label her as black African, which she is. But because people are talking about her being attractive, that's when they want to start talking about how she has European features. And like I said so many times, there is no such thing as European features, because European people don't all have the same look. They don't all have the same features, the same way African people or black people, descendants from Africa, do not all have the same features. Not all African people have big lips and big noses. It's a stereotype. Yes, it may be common within those people, within certain countries or regions, but not all of those people have the same features or looks. Another excuse that I see a lot of people use whenever they see an attractive black woman is the fact that they'll say, oh, well, she's wearing a wig or she's wearing makeup. Because apparently other races of women do not wear makeup or wigs. It's just black women that wear makeup and wigs. Or apparently makeup can change your face so much that it can make you go from a 0 to a 10. But you see what I mean? It's any excuse that they use because they don't like to admit the fact that black women can also be attractive. It's crazy. But anyways, going back to the original tweet that I was talking about, people are posting pictures underneath the tweet to try and prove her wrong. Someone posted a picture of these beautiful women, and a bunch of white men in the comments were saying, oh no, she's ugly, they're all ugly. Some of them look like men. They know full well that they don't look like men. But like I said, they just don't like to admit the fact that black women can be attractive, so they jump to the conclusion of, oh, well, they're trans, they're men. They like to emasculate them because they don't want to admit the fact that black women are attractive. Mind you, after she made this tweet, people found out what she looked like, and this is exactly what she looks like. She's an overweight white woman with a bunch of kids. She's clearly miserable, and she's projecting. So for some reason, she feels the need to bring up black women and project her insecurities onto black women, and she got her fellow white men in the comments to go and run behind her and defend her, as usual. There's so many more tweets of these people about black women saying, oh, well, show me a black woman that is this beautiful, or show me a black woman that's this classy, that looks this good. Black women are just minding their business, and they're still finding a way to bring them up and compare them to other women. Because white people, especially white men, have this idea that black women are so bitter and they're miserable and they're just jealous and ugly creatures. They're so jealous of white women. And there's been so many times when I've seen a lot of them say things like that. And I just think, where do you even get this from? A lot of black women just mind their business, and white men come out of nowhere and start comparing black women to white women. And it's very, very weird to me. Or sometimes they cherry pick pictures where a black woman might be looking in the direction of a white woman, and they're just so jealous because they don't look that good. They wish they looked that good. And it's very, very weird to me. Anytime people see a black woman confident with herself and happy with the skin that she's in, people will find a way to bring her down and make her feel insecure with herself. A black woman could walk around confidently, mind her business, and people will say that, oh, she thinks she's all that. And it's the fact that things like that come from other black people, especially other black women. A lot of other black women will see a confident black woman, see a beautiful black woman, and tell her that she's bougie, or she thinks she's all that, or she thinks she's something special, as if that's meant to be some type of insult. You should think you're all that. It's good to have confidence and to be happy with what you are and what you were born as. A lot of people like to see black women be below everyone else. It's like they find joy in it. Whenever they see a black woman that's happy with herself and loves herself, they want to make her feel insecure and drag her back down. And to all the black girls out there, to all the black girls, all the black women, continue to feel confident and comfortable in your skin. And be happy with yourself. Don't let anyone tell you anything. And if you've been feeling very insecure because of social media lately, because of, a lot of people like to get attention, so they drag down black women on social media. If it's better for you, stay off of social media and take a break. Don't let social media get to your head. Don't let it affect you. Don't let it make you feel insecure. If you think it's best for your mental health, take a break off of social media. But I hope everyone enjoyed the video. If you did, please let me know in the comments down below, and please let me know your thoughts in the comments down below too, because I really do like having discussions with you guys. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.